Okay, so learning Python, right? It can feel kind of overwhelming at first.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All that code.
It's a whole new language, really.
Yeah. And I think people get intimidated by that.
Absolutely. Like, where do you even start?
Right.
But, or
It's not just about the code itself.
yeah, it's more about like the mindset.
Yeah, the approach.
Exactly. Like how to think about problem solving in a new way.
So we're not going to get into specific code in this deep dive.
No, not today.
More about how to approach learning Python
Making it less frustrating, more fun.
so you can actually enjoy the process.
That's the goal.
Totally.
Because anyone can learn this stuff.
Even if you're starting from scratch.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Doesn't matter what your background is.
So you're saying even like experienced programmers,
Even those guys.
they had to start somewhere too.
Everyone was a beginner once.
So no comparing yourself to others.
That's just going to hold you back.
Right. Focus on your own progress.
Exactly. It's a journey, not a race.
I like that. So embrace being a beginner
Absolutely.
and don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Oh, you're going to make tons of mistakes.
I mean, I make mistakes all the time.
Everyone does.
But with Python, is it like extra easy to mess things up?
I wouldn't say easy,
Okay.
but Python's actually really good at helping you when you do make a mistake.
Really? How so?
Well, the error messages, they're usually pretty helpful.
You mean they actually tell you what went wrong?
Yeah, often they'll point you right to the problem, even suggest how to fix it.
So instead of freaking out when I see an error message,
Try to see it as like a free lesson.
a clue.
Yeah. Honestly, some of my biggest learning moments were from fixing those early mistakes.
That's a good way to look at it. So embrace the mistakes, see them as opportunities.
That's the key.
Okay, got it. So you're a beginner, you're not afraid to mess up.
Now what?
Where do you even begin with all this Python stuff? It just seems so vast.
Yeah. It can be overwhelming, and that's where people often get tripped up.
Like they try to do too much at once.
Exactly. They want to learn everything, build a complex app right away.
I've been there.
But starting small, focusing on consistency, that's way more effective.
So like what? Building a website on day one.
No, think of it like building a house.
Okay,
Start with the foundation.
gotcha.
With Python, that means learning the basics. Syntax, data structures, simple programs.
So get those fundamentals down first.
Exactly.
Makes sense. But then the question is, how do you keep that momentum going?
It's all about building those little habits.
Okay, what do you mean?
Like even just 20 minutes of practice a day can be more impactful than trying to cram everything in on a weekend.
Oh, so consistency over volume.
Exactly. It's like learning an instrument, right?
Yeah.
Consistent practice is key.
You build that muscle memory.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Small steps, steady progress. Before you know it, you'll be surprised how much you've learned.
That's encouraging. But let's be real, staying motivated can be tough,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
especially when you hit those roadblocks.
You're going to get stuck. It happens to everyone.
It's like you're making progress. And then, bam, a wall.
Learn to code has its ups and downs.
Definitely. So any tips for getting through those moments?
One thing that can help is actually tracking your progress.
Like keeping a journal or something.
Yeah, write down your wins, even the small ones.
So like, I finally figured out how to use a for loop. That goes in the journal.
Exactly. It's a reminder that you are learning even when it doesn't feel like it.
And I guess it helps to remember why you started learning in the first place.
Yes. What's your goal? Visualize yourself achieving it, using your Python skills to build something cool.
Having that vision can be a big motivator.
It definitely can.
So stay focused on the goal, track those wins,
And remember, you're not alone in this.
which brings us to the power of community.
Ah, yes, the Python community is amazing.
It really is.
So many people willing to help share their knowledge.
So many resources out there.
Online forums, groups, meetups.
Don't isolate yourself.
Exactly. Connect with other learners, share your questions, celebrate your victories.
It's like having a whole team cheering you on.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to ask questions.
Even the dumb ones.
There's no such thing as a dumb question. Chances are someone else has had that same question and will be happy to help.
It's like you're all in this together.
That's the spirit.
Okay, so we've talked about mindset, mistakes, consistency, motivation, community. What else?
Patience. We got to talk about patience.
Oh yeah, patience. That's a tough one.
Especially in today's world, everything's so fast-paced.
Instant gratification everywhere you look.
Exactly. But learning Python, it's a process.
It takes time.
Dedication.
It's like learning a new language. You wouldn't expect to be fluent overnight.
Right. And you can't compare yourself to others.
Oh yeah, that comparison trap. It's so easy to fall into.
It is. But everyone learns at their own pace.
So no pressure to be the fastest learner.
Exactly. Python will click for you when it clicks for you.
Trust the process.
That's it. And honestly, the more patient you are, the more you'll enjoy the journey.
That's a great point. When you're not so focused on the end goal.
Yeah, you can appreciate the process of learning.
The little discoveries along the way.
Exactly. And that's what makes it fun.
Okay, so patience is key.
It really is.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We've talked about embracing the beginner's mindset, not being afraid of mistakes,
Consistency over volume, staying motivated,
finding your community, and being patient.
all essential ingredients for success.
They really are. But before we move on, I think it's worth emphasizing one more time that learning Python isn't just about the code,
It's about the journey,
the challenges.
the growth.
It's about becoming a better problem solver.
And that's a skill that will benefit you in all areas of life, not just coding.
So well said. So to everyone out there starting their Python journey,
Embrace the process, be kind to yourself.
and never stop exploring.
You got this.
Happy coding, everyone.
Happy coding.